Welcome to Wrestling Over Everything, everybody. We are a very funny wrestling podcast out of Central Valley, California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
Subscribe to our YouTube. That's the big one. Hit the like button, all that stuff. The big one, subscribe so you can see when we post new stuff, which we do weekly. Follow us on TikTok. Dusty's on Blue Sky. It's all Wrestling Over Everything and your favorite podcast app. Obviously, we're on Spotify. All that jazz. Today, we just did a run of like peak Attitude Era 1999, and Dusty had the wonderful idea to go back to classic, like the territory days, true blue professional wrestling. Is that right, Dusty?
Yeah, smoke in the arenas. If you listen to the way WWE has rewritten history, this is primitive wrestling, like only hillbillies. And
this is wrestling.
Yeah, smoke-filled arenas and bloodthirsty maniacs in the audience. No kids, no women, no families, just maniacs, which is untrue. But I thought, like, we go back as far as like kind of this podcast is probably ever going to go as far as classic wrestling, because
finding footage is hard once it gets older than this.
Footage gets hard, and like continuity. The ability to tell a cohesive story gets difficult.
Yeah.
Because it's territory wrestling. And also, like, this is not the first angle, obviously, by any means, but this is a huge kind of template angle for modern pro wrestling. You could run this angle right now. The bones
I was thinking about that. Yeah.
Would still work today. So of course we're going back, and it's fun to see, like, we're doing Flair, which we've had some dalliances in the episodes, but we're getting to take a look at Harley race and some of the other uncle ass carnival worker pro wrestlers that were around in this era.
Yeah, so we are going back to 1983 Ric Flair versus Harley race in Jim Crockett Promotions. And I when I was watching this, I texted Dusty and I was like, Jim Crockett Promotions is where men were men, because like everybody, there is so much chest hair, there is so much like machismo going on, and everyone's just a dude. Like
everybody's a hoss. Everybody's the toughest guy.
Yeah.
From their town,
Yeah.
Like whatever they say, like whenever you get to the NFL. The NFL's crazy because everybody's the best athlete from their town, and now all those guys are playing each other, and it's the first time it's ever been hard for anybody. That's kind of what the Mid-Atlantic territory for Jim Crockett Promotion was.
Yeah, and it's funny that you say that all these uncles, because like my uncle Mike was the tough guy in my town, where it's like every time somebody brings up Uncle Mike in when I'm in public, they're like, "Oh, your uncle's Mike Idell?" Dude, I saw that dude beat the shit out of like 3 guys at one time. Like, he hit a man with a boot. Like there's just like, and that is this whole territory. They're the only guy, like the only guy that doesn't just have a name is Jake the Snake.
Yeah, the only guy who doesn't have a hyperbolic, or the only guy with a nickname.
I guess except for Roddy Piper, who's still kind of trying to do a Scottish accent.
Yeah, well, it's like Dick Slater's the toughest dude from down Baton Rouge,
Yeah.
Like, and he just happened to, he was running the Tilt-A-Whirl, and somebody was like, "Hey, do you want to fight this guy for $20?" And he was like, "Hell yeah!" And now he's a pro wrestler. That's so. Anybody that's familiar, this is called the Flair for the Gold. Is kind of what they label this Ric Flair storyline and this Ric Flair kind of run.
Yeah, that's what they were calling the match. It culminates at Starrcade, right? And like that they kept calling it the Flair for the Gold during the match. And I'm like, I wonder who's going to win this match.
Interesting. They're not calling it the race for the gold.
Which would have been sick too, actually.
Yeah, and the rematches, it could have been the race for the gold. So you know what I love to do, Andrew? I like to build a runway
100%.
for this plane to take off. So quick runway. We got the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Heard of him?
He's a rock star.
He's the greatest. He breaks in the early 70s through the American Wrestling Association ran by Vern Gagne. This is where he first meets like Ricky Steamboat and a lot of his contemporaries break in through the AWA. He's around quite a bit. He joins Jim Crockett Promotions in '74, and they start to build him up. He's like a young Ric Flair is weird. It's a weird looking thing because he's jacked. He's like a Haas guy. He weighs like 320 pounds, and he's got a shaved head, and he's not the Nature Boy. He's a big old boy. He famously gets in a plane crash in 1975, breaks his back, and returns. And I think that's when he becomes slimmer Ric Flair. He's trying to be more technical. He can't hoss as hard anymore because his back's all fucked up.
He needs a bacchiotomy.
They run him through the paces. This is how they used to do it. Like, he becomes the TV champ. And then he forms a tag team with Greg the Hammer Valentine. They become the tag champs, who have the belt stripped from them. Funny enough, for having too many disqualifications. Like, they just couldn't. They can't continue.
They're
down
too
this
rowdy.
path. Yeah, this path of chicanery.
I gotta be honest with you, Rick and Greg. You guys are too rowdy.
Yeah, we just can't have this type of nonsense in Jim Crockett Promotion. He becomes the U.S. champion. Which is the belt below the world title. And then in 1981, or no, I'm sorry, where did I have this? Flair wins the world heavyweight title for the first time in 1981. He beats Dusty Rhodes. And this run is not that profitable or not that well remembered. Flair thinks they were trying to sabotage him a little bit because they switched the belt in St. Louis, where he wasn't particularly over. That wasn't like a stronghold of his. And they give him a little bit of a run with the belt, but it's not hugely successful.
Okay.
So at the same time, Harley Race was his contemporary, but Harley Race has been wrestling since the 1959. He breaks in.
Yeah, I think he's like 6 years older than Flair or something like that.
Yeah, he breaks in. He's doing favors for the local promoter. He's starting to become he's starting to move up the ranks. He gets in a terrible car accident where his pregnant wife dies in the car wreck, and his leg is so badly injured that they almost amputated. And the promoter went to the hospital and forced the doctor not to amputate Harley.
I forgot about that.
Like, he said, over my dead body, you'll amputate his leg.
Was it Jim Crockett that did that, or is this a different promotion?
No, it was, his name is Karras. Gust Karras was the promoter in this territory, and he's the one who stopped the doctor from amputating his leg. So
that's the funny thing, because he was probably making money off of Harley Race. How much money was he really making at that time? You know, so he's like, you ain't cutting this guy's leg off. He's gonna make me $4,500 at the.
Yeah, I'm in deep. I need Harley Race to get back. I'm in the red on Harley Race right now.
And just let me pay off my Buick, and you can take the leg.
Yeah. So he recovers, and the doctors tell him, even though you're recovered, you'll probably never walk again. And so Harley Race goes through excruciating physical therapy, obviously regains his ability to walk, and then starts making his successful name for himself as a pro wrestler. Like, all of this is post a leg injury so bad that they might have to amputate it.
What do you say to the god of amputation? Not today.
Not today. I didn't go to work one day this week because my stomach hurt too bad.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't sit in a chair and do my work. So Harley Race goes to the AWA, where he forms a successful tag team with Pretty Boy Larry Hennig, who is Kurt Hennig's father.
Hell yeah, dude.
He's handsome Harley Race at this time. And I will say this, I love Harley Race. I don't know that at any point handsome is a accolade that I would bestow upon Harley Race.
No, he's grungy.
Yeah, he's a tough guy, Harley Race.
Tough guy,
sure.
Harley Race.
But handsome Harley Race, maybe not. So he's in that tag team for a few years, builds up his name. In 1973, he takes on a new nickname, the Mad Dog. Now, Mad Dog Harley Race, this I can get behind. I can see the Mad Dog.
Yeah, he does. He does look like a mad dog.
He's got Mad
Like,
Dog energy
quite a
for
bit.
sure.
I've seen some pictures. If he doesn't smile, he looks like Sid.
He kind of does. Yeah, the curly hair, the blonde. He's got
and
Sid.
even the face. Like, hold on, let me pull up this picture. He looks.
Sid.
This looks like Psycho Sid.
He's got
Watch
some
it.
Sid
That just looks like Sid.
Yeah, and look, like he's pretty. Like he is
Power
what
bomb.
he's what we used to always call like old timey buff. You know, because he's like barrel chested.
He's burly.
Yeah,
and he's got rare for the day tattoos.
Yeah, which also means like he's also a tough motherfucker. You like, you know, because to go get a tattoo meant you had to go to the tough part of town.
Yeah,
they're not at every corner. So
any part of town Harley races in is the tough part of town.
Suddenly the tough part of town.
It has now become the tough part of town.
So he defeats Dory Funk Jr. to win his first NWA title in 1973, which was at the time perceived to be a big upset. He only holds that belt for about a month, but in that victory alone cements him as like, oh, this guy could be a guy who's a world
top
champion.
guy.
He's a top guy. He then decides to like go and kind of hit all these different territories because it's all under the NWA, right? He collects all these belts from these different promotions in the intervening years to keep his name out there and also like, you know, be in contention for the NWA title.
Yeah.
But he's winning the Central States Championship and the Missouri Championship and all these different belts. They finally decide to go with him as like the main guy. In 1977, in 77 he defeats Terry Funk, so he's beat both Funk brothers for heavyweight titles.
Funk both brothers, check it out now.
Beat both Funk brothers. How about now?
Look at me, dude.
Yeah, and then he's kind of the what do they call that? Like the bear. He's the main guy. You know, he loses the belt occasionally for brief storyline purposes, but he's like the main guy for the next few years until he he loses it to Flair, and then he loses to Dusty, who loses it to Flair, and then that leads us to where we're at. So we got kind of young hot Ric Flair. They put the belt on him. They're not stoked about it, but they definitely still see something there. And then you got like Harley Race is kind of the stalwart. He's the made man. He's the champ.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, this is 34-year-old Ric Flair, and Harley Race is like 39 or 40 or something like that.
Yeah, so it's you know, and this is 40 in the 70s, you know, coming up through the 50s, 60s,
yeah,
70s.
This is a Marlboro 40.
Yeah, this is a tough 40.
Yeah.
So the first segment we watched, and then we can group some of these together, is we get a recap of the title match between Ric Flair and Harley Race. This is a 2 out of 3 falls match, and they're in the third fall. And Flair actually hits a move. He hits a body press off the top rope.
He does. Yeah.
Out of the Flair flip, which answers the question for years: what was the move he was going for, and why was he so confident that he could hit it? Because he does.
Yeah.
You know, this one time he nails it. So
this is how I lost to Harley Race.
Yeah, I nearly had him though. Flair hits a back suplex. They do the count where Flair's shoulders are down right as Harley Race's shoulder comes up, which is a classic old time disputed wrestling finish. Like that's WWF and WCW, NWA were chock full of these because it's a great way to test the audience too.
Well, and one thing I love about this is there was a false finish, or not a false finish. There was a ref bump, and who got the 3 count when the ref was down? Who was on top when the ref was down?
Harley Race is on top.
When when the ref was down.
When the ref was down, I believe that's Flair.
Yeah, I think so too. And the best thing about it was, now if somebody breathes wrong on the ref, he dies for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
This referee, they got it over with, this ref bump, in like 15 seconds. The ref gets hit, he falls, he gets up like a normal person slowly and misses the 3 count because they do it in that intermittent time. It's not like the crowd's counting 11, 12, 13, and the referee is like foaming at the mouth on the ground because somebody hit his leg. You know what I mean? Like, I found that very refreshing.
Yeah, well, it's a completely different version than what modern wrestling does with the ref bumps, where it's like, well, the ref's not dead. The ref has to be reasonably tough to be in there with those 2 guys, Yeah,
well, plus he's just a human being. Like, you're gonna get up.
It's like I went and saw the new Scream movie today. If the NFL were serious about concussions, they'd give everybody that ghost face mask, because that mask, everything bounces
impervious.
Off
yeah, impervious.
You cannot be knocked out with that mask.
Now the ref gets bumped by something small. There's 2 like long entrances. You hear music.
Travis Scott comes out.
He gets out. He gets up. There's a shattered guitar all over the place. None the wiser.
Mark Henry's knee is destroyed. It's a whole thing. So Harley Race gets the win, wins his 7th world title. But that is all in service of this long-term plan of like, let's give this bump to Flair. Let's really get fans invested in Ric Flair. So Flair comes out for a promo segment. Awesome. It's the 80s. He's got his shirt unbuttoned like to just above his stomach. And he's got a medallion, and he's got this, for some reason, every Flair promo, he's got a strategically placed bandage right above his eyebrow, where who knows how that could have happened. He comes out and he's like, hey, I think I won. Obviously Harley Race thinks he won, but the referee decided what he decided. I'm not happy about it, but I'm going to get my rematch, and Harley Race knows I can beat him, and I know I can beat him, and the fans know I can beat him. And that's essentially it. He takes it in stride, like he lost a close PI call in football or something. He's like, look, sometimes this happens.
Well, he was very subdued until he finished with this.
That I am a rock star.
Sorry, that's my favorite Ric Flair clip of all time. I love this promo because it's not a screamy from wall to wall, just add a 10 Ric Flair promo, which those are also fun a lot of the time, but he's very subdued. He ramps up in the middle when he starts to get himself going a little bit, because you can tell he's frustrated and driven to get this title back, and then he kind of works his way back down towards the end. I thought it was really good. He was like, Harley, you're a tremendous man, but I don't think the people around you think you can beat Ric Flair. Like, and he said it like I just said it, basically. Yeah. And I thought it was great.
Yeah. And then the big turning point is we get Harley Race dressed as like our finest car salesman.
Yeah.
That guy's getting you in a Cadillac today.
He sells the shit out of some Oldsmobiles.
Yeah, what does handsome Harley Race got to do to get you in a Buick this afternoon?
Yeah.
So
I got a brand new LeSabre with your name on
it. He offers anybody in wrestling $25,000. He
doesn't say anybody in wrestling. He says, I'll give anybody, any man who can take Ric Flair out of wrestling, I will give $25,000. I wonder if Ric Flair was watching this going, hey, dude, I got to go to the grocery store.
I got to hit the gym. I got to go get my hair dyed.
There's people looking at him like, 25 grand if I fuck this guy up right now. He's crossing the street. The guy's like, his foot teetering over the gas pedal. He's like, $25,000.
Well, 25 grand in 1983 money is $81,639 today. 80 grand for a hit on Ric Flair.
That could buy you a bunch of LeSabres.
Yeah, that's a couple LeSabres at least. That's right. He says to any living human being. So he has disqualified the dead from being able to get this money.
He keeps making it very clear that literally anybody, if you have a gun and you see Ric Flair, I don't care if I've ever met you before, if you're not under the blanket of Jim Crockett Promotions, if Iran bombs Ric Flair, I will wire them $25,000.
Well, and then he starts naming potential potential suitors for this money, which I also thought was funny.
Yeah, he's
like,
calling guys out.
Yeah, he's like Dick Slater, Paul Jones's Army, Kabuki.
Yeah,
anybody.
I know Kabuki. I know you're into that shit.
Come get this money. And then they run it again in this next promo where now Harley Race is dressed like our finest televangelist.
Yeah.
If you want this 25,000, put your hand on the TV.
Touch the screen, yeah.
And I'll feel you wanting that 25 grand.
I'll send you 25 grand and some miracle spring water.
Yeah, he's upset that nobody's come out of the woodwork yet to get Ric Flair. He's like, I put the 25 grand out there, and it's such a subtle, like, I think this is what one of the things that makes it work so great is Harley Race is afraid of Ric Flair.
Yeah.
What Ric Flair said is true. He doesn't want to face Flair because he knows he got lucky when he beat him last time.
Yeah.
But he's never going to say that. Now he's like, I just want somebody to get him out of my life forever. He goes, beat on him, cripple him, get rid of him.
Yeah.
And the cash is yours.
I wrote down Harley Race is simply begging the world to murder Ric Flair. Because like that, he's like, come on, guys, like, they're gonna book me against this fucking guy, and I really don't want that to happen. If anybody knows any way to completely take this guy out the game, $25K immediately.
Who's the dude that did the hit for Tanya Harding, her boyfriend?
I don't know his name. No,
Galik. What's that guy's name? He has a really funny name, but that guy, he was watching it at home, being like crowbar. To
it
Flair's
was IP Freely.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's just like, I know you guys love money. We're all scumbags.
Yeah.
Somebody come get Ric Flair.
What the hell, guys?
Take this money off my hands. So another thing I love about this promo, or like this angle, and also kind of territory wrestling at this time, is like, even though they're not directly involved, they pull in, sort of in an ancillary way, all of these other major storyline players and other wrestlers into the orbit of this storyline.
Yeah.
Right. So like the next promo is Flair. This is Flair responding to the fact that now a bounty's on his head. He's a wanted man. He's with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat and Rowdy Piper. And Flair's like, hey, I got guys. I got homies that are with me. They're not just going to let some dude beat the shit out of me for 25 grand, because that answers the question, like, what are the other baby faces doing? Like, Flair should be their friend. They should all hang out.
Well, yeah, and that's something that we miss a lot of the time, because everybody's isolated in their own storylines, except for these big factions. But then it's like, now it's like, with this, it's like, no, the good guys don't think that the good guys should get murdered for... I don't think this guy should be murdered for $25,000.
Yeah, it's a matter of pride and of principle. It's a moral issue for Ricky Steamboat, at least. Piper, I think, is just excited to be involved. He's excited to be involved with anything, because the amount of drugs that I believe Rowdy Piper is on is pretty high.
And once again, as always, Roddy Piper, hitter of the year. He is just riding for his boys. Nobody rides him and Macho Man. Nobody rides harder.
No, if he's your guy, he's your guy for sure. Piper should have switched to caffeine-free Coke, which came out in 1983.
Hell yeah.
Probably to save the life of Roddy Piper.
How much caffeine is in this cocaine?
So now we're getting more guys brought in, like, because it permeates the entire promotion. 25 grand's a lot of money. So like, even if you weren't directly involved, now you are involved, because we get a Dick Slater promo where the announcer is telling him like, hey, tremendous match. What do you think about this Ric Flair bounty? What's going on with that? He's throwing his name in the ring for the bat. He's like the Jesse James gang. He doesn't want to just do it. He wants people to know that he's gunning for it. Yeah. He wants to make people aware it will not be an accident if Dick Slater gets this money.
It's a weird strategy. You'd think you'd want the element of surprise, but Dirty Dick Slater doesn't think that way.
Dick Slater's favorite bands, in my opinion, David Allan Coe,
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner.
Very specific songs too.
Yeah, Skinner. He doesn't love Skinner as much as he likes Molly Hatchet. I think Molly Hatchet's more his deal. And of course, 38 Special.
Oh yeah, he's a big 38 Special guy. Yeah. He is very hot blooded. Bob
Seger and the Silver Bullet Band.
When he wants to cry, he turns on some Christofferson. You know?
Yeah. We do get a brief run, or a brief look at a young Jake Roberts, like you said, who's part of the Paul Jones army that is also in this promo. They kind of back-to-back these promos, and the Paul Jones army is like, hey, we got guys too. You know, maybe we'll go after the bounty. We're involved in our own stuff, but like 25 G's is 25 G's.
Yeah.
So we get introduced next to maybe my favorite character in this whole thing, Bob Orton Jr. A lot of appreciation for Bob Orton Jr. coming out of watching these clips.
I feel like Terry Gordy was a big Bob Orton Jr. fan.
And he definitely took fashion tips from Bob Orton, because Bob Orton is rocking the no-shirt fringe vest look.
Brown leather vest. It's kind of like the leather that looks like felt, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's got a matching brown, like mountain man hat going on.
Yeah.
He is, listen, very briefly, I was a big Bob Orton Jr. fan.
Yeah, he comes in hot as a potential good guy in this
Oh
thing.
man, cool, another hitter. I'm glad we got another hitter to defend Ric Flair in this siege that's happening.
Yeah. So Bob Orton's like, hey, I'm watching Flair's back with me and Piper and Steamboat. Like, you're never gonna get to this guy. We got his back in the ring, we got his back out of the ring. It's never gonna be a problem, you know. And then it does come out that Harley Race has promised he will never give a rematch to Ric Flair.
Yeah,
it's never happening. And then Piper comes in and he's found more cocaine in the back, and he wants to fight Greg the Hammer Valentine. He's like, you know, I'm here to protect Flair, but also I've got my own interest. It's me and Greg Valentine.
Well, and he's like, whatever you want. If you want me to team up with this guy and we'll be the tag team title holders,
yeah,
great. If you want me to fight stupid ass blonde fucking Greg Hammer Valentine for the U.S. title, sick. I'll do that too. And then
if you want me to just stand guard and punch bystanders as they walk by, I got you for whatever you need, Rick.
Did this wall look at you funny? I'll take care of it.
Yeah, Flair has to cut him off because Piper's veering too far off of the main point, which is, you know, I've got my guys. I'm not worried about Harley Race. We know Harley Race is afraid of me. So Flair gets a title match with Harley Race, and he's got him in the figure 4 leg lock. And Dick Slater comes out to, I assume, try to get the bounty. Flair pops up, cuts off Slater, and then he's fighting Harley Race. Slater comes out, he cuts him off, and then he puts Race in the figure 4 because Bob Orton Jr. jumps in to like protect the ring while Flair's got him in the figure 4.
Yeah.
And then turns around, fucking wham, out of nowhere, turns on Ric Flair.
Immediately, he jumps on the top. And this is the saddest thing about this whole thing is there is a woman with a toddler in the front row of this freaking auditorium, wherever they are. Did you see this?
No, I think I missed this.
Front row center, where green shirt guy normally is a woman, because this is back in wrestling where there were like church ladies in the crowd, and like there's a lot of church ladies in this crowd. You can see them. They look like my grandma with the beehive haircut, and this woman is sitting in the middle with a baby in her lap. Like it's barely. I would probably call it a toddler, like a two or 3 year old, probably a 2-year-old child.
Yeah.
And the kid is just watching and clapping, like having a great fucking time.
He's about to see Ric Flair be the world champion.
He's about to see. It's the nature baby, you know. Yeah. But like, he is having the time of his life, and he sees the wrestling equivalent of a murder happen. Like a hit, like it happens in slow motion. It's like when they killed Sonny in Look How They Massacred My Boy.
Oh, yeah.
And the kid is just like stops clapping, like, because the Bob Orton Jr. comes off the top rope, and Harley Race is laughing. They just beat the dog shit out of Ric Flair. They spike pile drive him, and then they do the action movie head snap,
Yeah, the Zeus to Hulk Hogan fucking head twist.
the incapacitator.
Yeah, yeah. The quadriplegicer.
Yeah.
So it's the spike power driver's a little strange. Like they didn't have the rhythm of it right necessarily.
It's a stupid move. Oh man, it hurts worse because he was touching my feet.
Yeah, because he threw him down a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also like, and this is kind of throughout this whole thing, like they don't do a ton of wrestling moves to Ric Flair to hurt him. They just like they beat him up and they're like kicking the dog shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then they hit one real wrestling move that you could buy could hurt him because they just go on and on about Ric Flair's broken back from that plane crash.
Of course, yeah. And well,
Yeah.
and this is they hadn't buried the pile driver at this point. Like that's
Right.
still a really, really, really dangerous move. That was it outlawed at the time?
No, it was outlawed in Memphis. Like
Yeah,
that's
okay.
that's
I didn't-
but
yeah, okay.
in the Mid-Atlantic you could do it. It was just like
A devastating move.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
should be a devastating move. If you're doing what you're trying to make this look like you're doing, which is bouncing a guy off the top of his head straight into the ground, it should hurt. You're driving a pile. You should. It should like really, really hurt a guy. And then obviously action movie, the incapacitator, the break your neckinator. That was also a protected move at the time. So then they put Flair, like the whole back room comes out, like David, like Jim Crockett's family's out there, you know, like everybody comes out, and once again, this toddler in the front row is just watching them put Ric Flair on a stretcher, and his mom probably thinks it's real, and
that's
it's
the
just
loss of innocence right there, dude. That's like the first time you saw treachery, you know, like
Yeah.
true hate in a man's heart. He witnessed Bob Orton Jr.
Do you guys want to hear about my first experience with treachery?
Yeah. Oh, why I have a hard time trusting? Interesting. You should ask. Let me take
Have you
you
ever
back
heard of
to
Bob Orton Jr.'s bitch ass? I wrote down all my homies hate Bob Orton Jr.
Yeah.
No wonder that his son has voices in his head. Like,
yeah.
this, his dad's a treacherizer, bro.
Yeah. So they take Flair out on a stretcher, and then we get a backstage promo where the guy doing the interview just wants to let everybody know he's disgusted with this situation.
Yeah.
But Dick Slater and Harley Race and Bob Orton Jr. are laughing. And Race is just handing out stacks of the 25,000 to them, and they're so pleased with themselves.
Orton might as well have been like, I thought about pile driving him, then I did.
yeah. You see? Did you see what I did? So they ban Bob Orton Jr. from wrestling at Mid-Atlantic. Jim Crockett's there, and he's like, "Look, I can't do anything about what you did." Or about the 25 grand, even though I saw you literally put a bounty on a man's head. My hands are tied.
Yeah, literally, Jim Crockett goes, Bob Orton, that is the worst thing I've seen in wrestling today. And he kicks him out of the thing. And he says, Harley Race, you are the worst excuse for a champion I've ever seen. And Harley Race just goes, take a look at the cash. and Harley Race faces no discipline.
No, you can't discipline the champ, dude.
It doesn't matter if you ordered the hit. Did you pull the trigger?
Yeah, they can't drum up RICO charges on Harley Race for this.
That's North Carolina law.
Yeah.
Isn't that North Carolina? Isn't that where this is?
Yeah, this is in North Carolina. They cut to Ricky Steamboat and Jay Youngblood, who are like the other great thing about this is the baby faces are disgusted. All the other baby faces are entirely disgusted by what's happened. And so Ricky Steamboat calls it dirt money. He calls the bounty money dirt money. And then Piper enters like there's just been a funeral, like because Piper's the one who comes out to save Flair from the beatdown. And then he comes back in and he's so mad at Bob Orton Jr. He can't imagine like that Bob Orton would have done this to him.
He's like, God damn it, after I beat Valentine for that US title, I'm going after. But honestly, these guys did a great job with this. Like, we've made fun of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's acting a lot. And his acting isn't perfect in this, but it's maybe the best I've ever seen him, where he genuinely looks like, how could somebody do that to somebody? Like, I can't believe I just saw somebody do that to my friend. And fucking Roddy Piper comes in, just it's steam coming out of his ears. Yeah. And he goes, to you, you son of a gun.
It's like, and it's an interesting thing, because from their perspective, it's like, well, what's going to stop Harley Race for putting 25 grand on our head? Like,
how many 25 grands does this guy have?
Yeah. First they came for Flair and I did nothing. And then they came for Steamboat. I don't know how much longer after this is, but there is a reinstatement of Bob Orton Jr. Real flip-flopping from the NWA on the Bob Orton's discipline.
Remember, the suspension got overturned because lawyers got involved.
That's right, and you can't never trust a lawyer. Worse than a spike pallet driver is a lawyer.
Yeah, lawyers are like, hey, I know they for money tried to murder one of your employees, but you have to let these guys wrestle. I'm sorry. It's in the Constitution. It's the 28th Amendment.
They fine Dick Slater and Bob Orton $5,000 each for this attack. And then Dick Slater the whole time is going, we made $25,000.
Yeah.
So who cares?
Math works out.
Yeah, he's got a new robe that looks awesome. Dick Slater probably spent some robe money out of this Ric Flair bounty. And then it turns out it's not even $5,000 each. It's $5,000 total. So they each have to pay $2,500 for crippling Ric Flair. And
Ric Flair's like, how little am I worth? I thought I was a rock star.
How could they have done this to me?
Was it Bob Orton that says a paradox is not a couple of brain surgeons or where you park two boats?
Yes, he says fining them is a paradox.
Yeah.
Because they use the money that they made from the hit to pay off the fine money. So that's like, it's less than a wash. They're $20,000 up.
How could you not fine them $25,000 a piece? Like,
yeah. Well, the lawyers again, probably.
Yeah. Well, Jim Crockett's like, well, man needs to make a living. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to take I don't want to take food off of their kids' plates. You know,
how much is a bag of beans? You know, you can't. So now Orton and Slater are now like a duo, because obviously, you put them together once they take out Flair. I like that the interviewer is like, Dick Slater is clearly a scumbag. We all know that. Bob Orton, what do you have to say for yourself? We thought you were a man of honor. Like, he just totally throws Dick Slater's name in the dirt from the start. And Bob Orton cuts like an awesome promo where he's like, look, I'm a businessman. Do you know how much money $25,000 is? Like, I made a business decision. Ric Flair is just a dude that was in the way of me making $25,000. And then they show the clips of him being attacked with commentary from Bob Orton Jr. And he's going, watch this. I jump in the ring. Flair thinks I'm on his side. It's pure genius, Daddy.
Yeah. This is business at work.
Yeah, he's I gained a lot of respect for Bob Orton's kind of scummy promo deal within this. And he goes, you can call me a snake in the grass, but I've got the money. Like, he can't, it's like $20,000. And I know that Harley Race has got the hookup at the Buick dealership. Yeah. We're in heaven, baby.
killing it.
Yeah, he keeps calling everybody daddy, which is also very funny.
And he's like, this is Jim Crockett Promotions. This is men against men, not crybabies. And it's like, dude, you almost murdered a guy on television. You know what I mean?
He was in the figure 4 leg lock. So we get another promo from Bob Orton where Bob now has a fancy vest, which I'm sure some of that money went towards. It's like a rainbow kind of
this is detail work, man.
Yeah, it's not just Dookie Brown anymore. You can pay for a little extra.
You get money, you have to dress richer. That's how it works.
Yeah. And they're really trying to get Bob Orton to go back on what he did. They're like, Flair may never wrestle again. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. Who cares? Good.
Yeah.
He says, I'm a back jumper, but I just say you're jealous because you aren't as smart as I was. So you didn't get the money. And then Greg Valentine comes in from like off camera. And again, even though he's not directly involved, they're like, hey, what do you think about the fact that Flair might not be able to wrestle anymore? And this is a guy who used to be Ric Flair's tag team partner.
Yeah.
And he takes such delight being like, Flair's finished. It's over. He's done for.
He's vamoose.
We're past it. That's old news.
I'm glad he can't feel his feet. Suck it.
Flair is in a neck brace. This is contemplated Flair.
Classic neck brace wrestling. I love neck brace wrestling.
Yeah,
it's the only good thing Tony Khan ever did was wear that neck brace.
That's really fun. Yeah,
a neck brace is always it does its job, because if you see somebody with a neck brace in public out in the wild, you're like, oh man, that guy was in like a major accident. I know one guy who wore a neck brace. He was like 45 years old. He tried to do a backflip on a trampoline.
No, trampoline. Never, dude. I watched a compilation video of adults at a trampoline park just blowing ACLs. There's no reason as an adult to try to do anything on a trampoline.
The last 2 times as an adult I tried to do anything on a trampoline, one time I was hammered at a New Year's party, and I tried to do a backflip, and like you said, ACL. I am so surprised I didn't blow it the way that I landed, because I landed with my foot sideways, and I could feel it. Like, it hurt like shit, but it didn't pop.
Yeah.
And then I went to a trampoline park, and I jumped into the foam pit. Not as forgiving as you think those foam pits are, and hurt my back. So
never again. That was a warning shot your ACL gave you.
Well, probably again. I like to have a good time, know.
Well, the funny thing is, in this promo, Ric Flair's kind of saying the same thing. He's like, look, I'm not so messed up that I couldn't wrestle again. I probably could, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
With all these guys running around giving spike pallet drivers to everybody.
He's basically like, I got a new perspective out of all this, and I realized that maybe I shouldn't hang out with a bunch of homicidal maniacs all the time.
Yeah. He's like, I thought the most important thing was winning back my world title. Then got dropped on the old coconut by Bob Orton and Dick Slater, and realized there might be more out there for Ric Flair than the World Heavyweight Championship. So he officially retires and thanks all the fans. Race and Orton and Dick Slater react to the Ric Flair retirement in their classic way, of course. Ric Flair retires, and Harley Race comes out here looking like he's going to report on the Watergate scandal. And Dick Slater goes, that's a shame, isn't it? This is a profession for men who have athletes and have guts, not cowards. And it's like, dude, you back jumped this guy and then slammed him on his head. He trusted you, and you broke his neck. And Harley Race says that Ric Flair has disgraced himself into retirement.
It's how embarrassed must he be? Must Ric Flair be? He almost died, and now he's thinking rationally about life. But you are right about how, Harley Race's how he dresses. He looks like he's gonna like he's hosting Press Your Luck in the 70s.
Yeah, he's going straight from here to the feud.
Yeah.
Top five.
The last time you guys made whoopee.
Yeah. Top 5 reasons Ric Flair's retired on the board. Number 1, Spike Powder Driver. Now we get of course Slater and Orton become a tag team, and they're doing like they're on the syndicated TV doing this tag match, and I actually really like the Dick Slater Bob Orton team. There's like some pretty good wrestling in the early part of this, but this is all a backdrop for Ric Flair to return as a maniac with a baseball bat. And it's so funny watching like old studio wrestling, because the only thing between the ring and the crowd is like a really shitty piece of rope.
Yeah.
That one piece of rope runs all the way around, and it's not even like the braided rope that's thick that hurts if you put your hands on it. It's
twine.
Twine.
I'd say it's twine.
Piece of twine.
This was back when we were a high trust society, Dusty. Like nobody's gonna go through. Did you? So they commit a wrestling sin that you and I have discussed here. It almost always sucks when a guy introduces a weapon that there is no way that he can actually use.
Right.
Because Ric Flair is not going to bear Jew these guys.
Yeah. He can't without complication hit one of these dudes with a baseball bat for real.
Yeah.
So it's like an aluminum bat or a metal bat. It's not a wooden bat. It makes noise, which of course you want for television, but Flair's out still in the neck brace. He had to bring the neck brace with him and he chases off Bob Orton, and then he goes to swing at Orton's legs, and Orton jumps over into the ring and takes a pretty good bump into the ring, like scared of Flair. Flair chases him off while the crowd is going nuts. And then, like you said, since he can't hit either of these guys, Dick Slater grabs a chair, and they kind of have a face-off, and then Flair can hit the chair with the bat a few times.
Yeah. So it looks like he can actually swing with intent.
Right. And so then he chases the heels off, and then he jumps up on the stage, because the crowd and the ring and the stage are all like within spitting distance of each other.
Yeah, they have a Mid-Atlantic Wrestling. Oh, I think it just says NWA, a step and repeat. One of the backdrops that everybody does there. All the interviews that we've talked about in this, except for like a couple like super artsy Harley race interviews in like a locker room with a silhouette behind him and stuff. Have been there. So he just walks directly to the step and repeat, because he's like, well, if I'm not going to physically bash these guys, I'm going to verbally berate them. And declare that I am back.
It looks like it's at the community center or whatever, because there's always a stage at those things. The stage is very accessible. Flair just hops up on it.
He just goes right up there. Yeah. And the guy's ready with a microphone. Yeah,
that's Bob Caudle, who does all the interviews, and Flair just starts yelling. He's talking about he's paid all the dues he's gonna pay. You don't tell everybody. Ric Flair is done. Essentially Flair was happy with retirement until these guys kept bragging on his name. They kept talking shit about how they took him out, and now he's got to come back to salvage the good name of Ric Flair.
Just Ric Flair sitting at home with the neck brace on, just fuming.
Every time. Are they going to mention it again this week? God damn it!
They're just dragging my name through the mud. Did you happen to catch the logo on the bat?
No.
The logo on this bat is skull. It's the chewing tobacco skull, and it just says skull huge on the bat. So somebody got that from like a rewards thing where they had to like mail in a bunch of empty tins of skull, and they got a bat.
Well, he probably got it from Dick Slater. You know,
That's what I was thinking.
The guys combined all the skull tickets that they had because everybody's chewing skull.
A single day of chewing in the locker room got them a skull bat.
Of Mid-Atlantic Wrestling got them that bat. It was like when I got a Kool-Aid speed bag one time when I was a kid because I had so many Kool-Aid points. It was like a little it was like a shitty speed bag, but it was still a Kool-Aid brand.
Is that a thing anymore?
No, I don't think with proof of purchase, I guess there are some things you can still get, but like, what a pain to have to mail all that shit in. It's the same reason why the McDonald's Monopoly game counts on you not wanting to keep track of all these stupid little pieces of paper to try to win something.
Yeah, like when in the meeting they were like, "Can we make them more losable?"
Yeah, is there any way that they could fit more tightly between the seat and the and the center console? Like they just slip down there easily. And even in the best case scenario, it's got like McDonald's grease or drink condensation all over it. You know?
Yeah, and it's just a nightmare. But they're doing it kind of online now, I think. But anyway, I'm looking at. I found the video, so I was trying to find a good shot of the bat, but it's too blurry. So, but it's very clear if you watch the video. It just says skull in green writing.
Awesome. That's how they used to do brand loyalty, dude.
Yeah,
like you can win a leather jacket if you exclusively chew skull.
And that's
winter fresh flavor.
That could have been a mid-Atlantic product placement deal where they're like, hey, Ric Flair's going to chase off Dirty Dick Slater and Bob Orton Jr. with a baseball bat. If you give us $75 and a skull baseball bat, we'll do that shit.
Yeah, I thought Flair was retired. The skull representative on the phone. No, he's coming back. He's coming back.
No fucking way, dude.
No fooling. Oh man, those dudes are in for hell when he comes back. Flair says the bat is his partner now, which is very funny. He's like, I love Roddy Piper. I love Ricky Steamboat. They failed to protect me from Spike Pallor drivers.
They run away from this bat. Dick Slater and Bob Orton, I found out they do not like this bat being around. They're allergic
to this bat. He promises he's going to get Harley Race too, and then he storms off. And it's like Bob Caudle is completely unaffected. He's just seen the crazy. It's just another day at the office for Bob. Next he's got to interview Rick Rude, and then he's got to interview the Road Warriors. And there's Ric Flair with the bat. Like it's just an endless cavalcade of maniacs. Bob Caudle.
All right, Jake the Snake Roberts, what are you incessantly mad about?
Yeah, what's up your ass, Jake the Snake Roberts? Hacksaw Butch Reed. Then we get another Flair promo where he's got a new jacket and another Band-Aid. It's the same spot, strategically placed Band-Aid.
Exact same spot.
They're at like Flair's like, why am I so crazy? Why do I have this bat? And I'm like, well, you don't need further. Like these guys jumped you, beat the shit out of you, tried to kill you.
We saw.
Yeah, you don't need more stuff. I don't think. But then they play a promo where Bob Orton is hanging out with Ric Flair, and Flair brings out Piper, and then Flair brings out his kids, who are David and Megan at this point. And he's like, these guys got my back. Bob Orton, he'll always be a friend. He'll never be an enemy. He will definitely not co-conspire to Spike Pallor drive me to death. So like, I want my kids to meet Uncle Bob Orton. And it's like, it's only like 10 seconds. And then it cuts back to Flair. And he's like, do you see what happened? This guy met my son, and then he Spike Pallor drived me. And like, yeah, I guess.
Fuck!
I was like, I guess that's more. The Spike Pallor drive is probably enough, though. And then he's like, I bet Ric Flair's sitting at home being like, one day I'm going to kick your son's ass, Bob Orton. I know your son's going to drop out of the Marines and get into wrestling, and I'm going to kick the shit out of him when I get
You have no idea how long I'm willing to stay in this game, Bob Orton Jr.
That's the long con. Like, please, Rick, retire. How much more money do you need? No. I have to wait for Bob Orton's son to become a pro wrestler.
Harley Race's kid didn't do it. Is there a Dirty D? Is Heath Slater Dirty Dick Slater? He beat the shit out of Heath Slater, thinking it was Dirty Dick Slater's kid.
He's been sowing the seeds to Randy Orton since he was a kid. Man, someday he'd probably make a pretty great wrestler. That'd be awesome. Just to get him. It's like that scene in Breaking Bad where Skyler shows Walt all the money, and she's like, "How much more money can we possibly need?" And he's like, "I can't be done." Same thing for Flair. He's got to wait for Randy. They bring out Sandy Scott, who's a famous NWA official, who's really trying to talk some sense to Ric Flair. He's like, "Look, man, I get it. These dudes double-crossed you. They hoodwinked you. That's bad. You can't bring a bat." We've talked about this.
Yeah.
You can't.
We're a nation of laws.
Yeah. If we lose our laws, it's anarchy. If you start bringing a bat, then this guy's going to bring a snake, and then the other guy's going to bring a 2x4, and then and on it goes.
Eventually, you got Chainsaw Charlie. We don't want Chainsaw. That's how you get Chainsaw Charlie. You don't want us to get Chainsaw Charlie.
You get to a Chainsaw Charlie. So Flair gives up the bat because he's a crazy man, but he's not an unreasonable man. You know.
Yeah.
We get Harley Race backstage, like you said, in one of the artful promos where he looks like he's going to hustle a bunch of dudes at pool.
He does, and they're literally, like I said, there's like a guy with his foot on a bench in the background, and it's just a silhouette. It's like, did fucking Francis Ford Coppola frame this shot? Like, what is happening here?
Yeah. I like art direction Harley Race, where he's like, no, I need the shadows because actually it's a metaphor for my fear of losing the world heavyweight title. And they're like, do you want to play pool now, Harley? And he's like, hell yeah, I do.
Hell yeah, I want to play some pool. Don't have to ask me twice.
Harley Race is so funny here. He's like, guess what? I don't have to come to North Carolina. And I will never come to North Carolina. If Ric Flair wants to fight me, it will definitely not be in North Carolina. And also, I feel bad for you, Bob Orton and Dick Slater, but you guys knew what you were getting into. Yeah. I don't have to come help you against a maniac with a bat. Like, I'm not an idiot. I'm staying
We
here.
made a business transaction.
Yeah. Let me be very clear. I don't count either of you as a friend. Yeah. And I will not be there to help you.
I've got friends. I don't need friends.
Yeah. You don't think handsome Harley Race has lots of friends? Oh, I got friends.
I got them falling out of the cabinets.
And then cuts back to Bob Orton, and Orton has maybe the best line in this entire thing, where he's like, "Flair's mad because I promised to watch his back in front of his kid. But guess what? If there had been a bounty on his kid, I would have power-drived him too." It's like, damn, that's cold. That's true colors from Bob Orton.
That's and it's good. It's good. I like it.
It's really good. The Flair then attacks Bob Orton and Dick Slater again. Like the beef will never die. He just can't let it.
It's just classic hillbilly heat, bro. I love it so much. Yeah. I can't get enough of it, with like the angry women in the crowd screaming at people, and like the it's just the chaotic good old boys is like my favorite wrestling, I think.
The thing that I like the most about this is they brawl all around the ring, and then of course Flair runs out because he's a maniac, but it is 2 guys against 1. So they kind of do get the advantage on Flair.
Yeah.
Until Wahoo McDaniel comes out and kind of makes it a fair fight. We'll do a bio on Wahoo McDaniel at some point. But I like that they are fighting. One of the main things that bothers me in wrestling now is whenever somebody does a run-in or somebody turns on somebody else and then they start doing like their wrestling moves to this guy. It's like there was a turn in the women's match the other night on NXT where this one of the girls turned on the other one unexpectedly and then hit her with like an F5. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, that's the Ric Flair's just, these dudes are punching and scratching and clawing at each other because they hate each other. That's like, then nobody's trying to do a suplex or anything.
They're not gonna be locking up.
Yeah, like the shit is on. It's on site for Ric Flair and Bob Orton and Dick Slater. So all of that takes place over like a 6-month period, and you've got like Flair, Flair wants a title match. Flair gets taken out. Flair's back for vengeance. Harley Race is running. All of this stuff culminates in the very first Starrcade, Starrcade 83, which took place in Greensboro, North Carolina, even though Harley Race said, never go to North Carolina.
Yeah.
He eventually
I was
had,
wondering about that because we just like smash cut Harley races in North Carolina and there's a cage in the middle of the room.
I couldn't figure out, like, I tried to find any promos or like look up anything. It just says the NWA board of directors was like, hey, you got to fight this guy.
That's what I'm saying. I bet it was. I mean, it's very simple. Like, hey, Jim Crockett is like, hey, dude, like, you have a contract. You have to. You are the champion. We have control over your. We will take your belt away if you don't go to North Carolina and get your comeuppance. You know what I mean? Like we. So I thought that it was just very funny that it was like anyway. I went to North Carolina.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and I also like, another thing that modern wrestling, because there's so much television.
it was like I wouldn't grind my feet on Eddie's couch. Like, it was something to do.
Yeah, and then if they took my belt away, I guess I would go to North Carolina. But I also
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, I also like that there wasn't like a guy has to come out on TV and then they have to do back and forth promos and then it's like, I'll never do it. No, okay, I guess I'll do it. Oh, it's got to be in a cage. It was just like the NWA said, you got to be here, you got to fight this guy. It's in the cage. That's it. There's the escalation has been Harley Race putting out a hit on Ric Flair. Like, this match deserves a cage because Race has been running. They didn't need to do a bunch of buildup because they've been doing it, with these other guys. So this is November 24th, 1983, which is either Thanksgiving night or the night before Thanksgiving, because I used to be a big NWA town and time to run like your supercard event was Thanksgiving. This in attendance 15,447 people. Harley Race was offered $250,000 from Vince McMahon to no-show the event, and Harley Race turned him down.
Oh, that's this one.
Yeah, that's this one.
That would have been funny. And that means that Vince was like, oh man, this is a good angle. Like, if I fuck this angle up, I could take the whole shit down. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And this is before pay-per-view, but this on closed circuit did pretty popular around the world, because they used to it was like they'd show it in a movie theater. They'd broadcast it out and you could pay to go see it in a theater, and that it did really good business around that. The cage for this match is literally on top of the people. Like, you could reach out and touch the steel cage in this match.
Yeah, and it's like an early cage. So, like, I don't know when cage matches started, but this is an earlier than I'm used to cage. There's like, this is just straight up chain link. Like, the poles on the top that go horizontally, like, are the top of the cage. Yeah. There's chain link going over them. Like, it's not like perfectly cut like nowadays. It's not like, but yeah, it's a cage.
Somebody eyeballed it. It was like, this is pretty. Yeah,
I can build you a cage.
Yeah, probably Bob Orton Jr. It's like, I got some chain link at home. I'll just bring that. And
it'll cost you that skull bat.
Yeah. I think my boy Randy's going to be a baseball player, and Flair the whole time's like, no, he won't. No,
he probably won't. He'll be all right, but he's eventually gonna jump off an even bigger cage and blow out both of his knees.
The entrances, the Ric Flair entrance here in 1983 is so funny because it looks completely unspectacular by 2026 eyes, but I bet in 83 people were losing their shit. It was like
pomp and circumstance,
the highest production value you could get. They pumped the 2001 A Space Odyssey music in, and then they have like a sparkler display essentially, and like a kind of shitty laser light show. for and then
I can get you some laser lights.
Yeah. I'm gonna need another skull bat.
I'm gonna need another.
You don't need to know why I need 2 skull bats.
How married to that hat is Bob Orton Jr.?
Yeah. I seen that vest. It's looking mighty nice. So Flair's out. His robe is pretty sick. It's blue and white. And then I didn't realize, it's really funny, he has to come through the crowd because he can't get to the cage because Harley Race is standing in the hall. And if him
Yeah.
and Race are near each other, why wouldn't they just be fighting each other? And so he has to come through the people, and then like suddenly the cage is upon him. It's like he's walking. Oh shit, he's in the cage.
Yeah.
And then Harley Race comes out, also in a sick robe, blue and red. It says Race across the back of it.
It's sick, yeah.
And we get a special referee, Gene Knitsky.
Harley Race, no music.
No. Doesn't need
And both of these guys look so intense. Like they are selling that they are like they know they're about to be in a dogfight, and this is a culmination of a big thing. It's cool.
And Harley Race's facial hair here, diabolical. It's mutton chops into mustache connected on the top only.
Yeah.
And the bottom is clean. But it's like his curly, like kind of afro hair all the way down from sideburns across the top, connected, and then that's it. He looks awesome, but he also looks like a maniac in that hairstyle.
This is really blurry, I think this is earlier in his career, but it's this.
Yeah.
It's just a little thicker.
Yeah, and he's really got it at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gene Knitsky is the special referee for this match, and Gene Knitsky has bee in his bonnet for the rules of this match to be upheld, even though it's a steel cage match, even though it's a blood feud between these two guys who hate each other, and he keeps getting in the way. Like this whole match, he's like physically pushing or pulling Ric Flair and Harley Race apart, and you could tell they start to get really irritated at him. Like 3/4 of the way through the match, they're like, "Dude, you're ruining the heat because I have to be able to punch this guy with a closed fist without you telling me some shit about it."
Yeah. Would they lock up at the beginning and he breaks him up? Was locking up against the rules?
No, I think it was just too intense. It was like you have a break, you're supposed to break, and they didn't break, and and he was upset about it. Like afterwards, Ric Flair in interviews later on would be like, "Yeah, I kind of ruined the match. Like he didn't know what we were going for, and he was trying to be such a stickler to the rules, that it like kind of messed things up." It's interesting because like this is an old match. Like it's an old style match. There's a ton of heat, but it's just two guys fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like kind of really fighting each other for about 20 minutes.
And the cool thing is it starts off with Flair just getting the shit kicked out of him. Which I mean is classic how you map this type of match out, but also like it adds to like we might have a compromised Ric Flair here. Like he is just coming back from getting his neck broken. Like, and Harley's like working the neck and he's dropping knees on the neck. And like, Flair is selling like he is exhausted and beat up pretty early in this match.
Yeah. And then like every time that Flair, they keep giving Flair hope spots where it's like, he'll start to make a little comeback and then Harley Race will cut him down with like mostly headbutts. He just keeps slamming headbutts into Flair.
He does.
Which is tough. And then
didn't he say he regretted doing the flying headbutt thing?
He regretted inventing the flying headbutt, even though his looks relatively tame, it messed his neck up. And then of course everybody took it to the nth degree.
Yeah.
Dynamite Kid.
A bunch of people died.
Yeah. I thought it was like they do a double juice, like Flair gets juice first from getting thrown into the cage, and then in his comeback, Flair is like a maniac. While Gene Knitsky keeps telling him not to throw Harley Race into the cage, he keeps slamming his head into the cage, and then he hits Race with the Pallor driver and the old head twist, the old neck snapper, which I thought was pretty,
cinema.
Yeah, which was pretty poetic. I really like the pacing here because it did kind of feel like a real contest. Like that is the point of wrestling at this time. And there were older guys from the older generation said that Harley Race was too cartoony as a wrestler. So like think about that now versus like the spot fest we get.
He was the fiend of his day.
Yeah, he's the Will Ospreay of 1983, where they're like, look at all the stuff he's doing.
Yeah,
So,
that's not wrestling.
He takes a really good chest first bump into the corner, which is kind of the Bret Hart bump, but not at the same velocity. The Harley Race probably can't get up there on that one. But the end of the match, they're fighting, and the ref gets bumped, like you mentioned before. There's like a pretty quick ref bump, and then Flair hops to the top of the cage, hits that flying body press over Gene Knitsky's body, and Knitsky turns around and counts 3. And this is for Ric Flair's technically 3rd world title reign, but like the 2nd big one. Like, and this is huge. And so
and I like that they teased the ref bump, but it didn't actually end up figuring into the finish. I mean, like affecting the end of the match. Like, that definitely added some suspense to the end of that match, because Knitsky's on the ground behind Race when Flair gets up on the rope. So you're like, oh no, like he's going to hit Race, and then Race is going to land on the ref, and a bunch of shenanigans is going to happen.
Yeah.
But they kind of land on Knitsky's leg, and Knitsky sells it a little bit, but still flips over to do the 3 count. Like, I think it was really well done.
Well, and I think it's a worthy fight. It's a double juice. It's in a cage. Like, it's worthy of the blow off for this angle. Like, you can feel that these guys hate each other. Like, the storyline makes sense. They're not it does get into a little bit more wrestling later. Like, there's some nice suplexes in this match, and they kind of go different ways, but there's a lot of brawling, and it's an intense fight.
There's a part where Flair gets chopped and like falls down, like he got hit with a finisher. Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool. It was like, because he was really tired at the time, and he was getting beat up, and he gets chopped, and he just falls straight to his back, like he was out cold. But yeah,
and so now the baby faces come out, while Harley Race is still like, he still wants to fight. He can't come to terms with the fact that he just lost. But all the baby faces rush into the ring. Earlier in the night, Rowdy Piper had beaten Greg Valentine in a dog collar match, which is one of the most famous matches of all time too. So there's a bunch of blood at the beginning of this match. That's Greg Valentine and Rowdy Piper's blood.
I saw that blood. There was a lot of blood in the ring.
Yeah. And then Jay Youngblood and Ricky Steamboat beat the Briscoes for the World Tag Team Championship. So
so just all the baby faces prevailed.
Big baby face night, and a big like Flair's circle of guys. Like, everybody's kind of been in this orbit, and they've been doing all these things kind of connected to the main event. And then the big blow off is you get baby faces all up. Yeah, in the big matches. So Flair,
that was the best Starrcade until '97, huh?
Yeah, 83 is a pretty good Starrcade. It might still be one of the better ones. Ric Flair's wife gets in the ring. His wife at the time.
He has so much blood on his face and in his hair, and like it's dripping down. It's just,
and he's hugging a lot of people. Ric Flair is all up in people's business with that amount of blood. He gets on the mic, says it's the greatest night of his life. Tough in front of his wife and kids. But,
I had the same thought.
What are you going to do? And then they cut to his wife, which is funny, and she's getting like a touch-up, because I'm assuming she had Ric Flair's blood all over her. Yeah. And so that is the end of the angle, and then we get like a little promo that I found where Flair post Starrcade, same bandage, just hanging out,
Same exact bandage.
But he's doing the interview with Ole Anderson, who looks like he wants to sell you a vacuum cleaner and a mop. Like, he's ready. He's ready to sell you those knives that'll cut a penny.
Yeah.
He's talking about how
these knives will cut right through this skull bat right here.
And then the skull representative's like, "What the hell, dude?
What the hell, man? We make strong bats."
Yeah. Flair wants to let it be known that he can still drive the ladies wild, and he gets props from pilots in the airport. So don't think that this Ric Flair also isn't the Nature Boy.
Yeah, he's like, don't make no mistake. I'm still better than all of you, but I have learned a few things about being a good guy, and this will never change. And I'll always be a good guy, and I'll never be a bad guy again for the rest of my career. Ain't that right, Dusty?
And then he kind of tips towards the heelness again, because you either die the hero or you live to be the villain. Where he says, I've learned my lesson. I'm going to defend this belt where I want and when I want.
Yeah.
Now I'm the champ. I have the power. Harley Race, he was using it for cowardice. That's not something Ric Flair's going to do. Ric Flair gets the world title. You know what? I might not defend it as much.
You guys prepare for me to get annoying with this thing.
He also says that the mainstream of the financial world have heard about Ric Flair becoming the champion, and that's going to be some kind of mover in the financial world.
Back in the day, if they're like, hey, a really pretty goat was born in Kentucky and it made the papers, the Dow Jones just skyrocketed. So Ric Flair becoming the champ will really touch the market quite a bit.
So after this, Harley Race takes a break because he's been wrestling pretty consecutively for the last 20 years, which, he earned it. He's handsome Harley Race. Flair is now he is like the guy. They decide they're putting all the machinery behind him. He does lose the belt to Kerry Von Erich in May of '82 because of the tribute show for David. And then Flair immediately wins it back. And then they start building to heel Flair versus babyface Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
For the next year's Starrcade. So,
okay.
You might wonder, hey, what happened to all these other guys? Rowdy Piper, Greg Valentine, Bob Orton Jr., WWF.
Yeah.
Immediately,
Jake the Snake.
Immediately to the WWF, where they pair up Rowdy Piper and Bob Orton Jr. Water under the bridge. Business decisions have been made.
Listen, you sometimes for business you got to suspend your hitterdom.
Yeah.
Rick got his win back. You know what I mean? He got his lick back. And he fucked off. So we're gonna.
Yeah. Flair's not here. He doesn't need to protect. How far does a man's loyalty lie?
Yeah.
Really quick, I wanted to play an age game with you because. 1983 NWA, there's a lot of rough looking dudes hanging around.
I've also got the top 10 movies in 1983 if you want to run down those. Or did you already have those?
I have those, but if you want to take them, you can. How old is Bob Orton Jr. in 1983?
I don't 45 teen. I don't know. He 38.
Not bad. 33.
Okay.
Still spry.
Everybody's going to be younger than I think they are, so I got to start shooting lower.
Yeah. Now, tough one here. Dirty Dick Slater.
Oh, shit.
How do you age? How do you age a man?
He looks like he's 40.
Yeah.
42.
You're gypping Dick Slater a full 10 years. 32 years old.
God damn.
He's younger than Bob Orton Jr.
Yeah.
In 1983. I believe you said already Ric Flair's 34.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Had I not looked it up, he definitely looks older than that. And Harley Race looks like mid 40s.
Yeah, and he's 40 on the dot by the time Starrcade comes around. So, and then Rowdy Piper.
Listen, if I just looking at him, I would guess mid 30s, but I'm guessing he's like late 20s, like 28.
Yeah, 29. He hasn't even had the biggest run that he's gonna have, and he's already one of the top stars in the NWA.
I love Roddy Piper, dude. I've never been bored watching Roddy Piper, and I've watched him in some really bad matches.
He is never boring. It's everybody else. Okay, so I have the top 10 movies.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I'm going to say there's a possibility you have seen 4 of these movies.
Okay.
Number 1 of the year, Star Wars: Return of the Jedi.
I have seen Return of the Jedi. I
Okay.
think that was my favorite of the first ones that came out. I think Jedi is my favorite one, but I can't remember.
That has the Ewoks, you know.
I do
and,
like the Ewoks.
The fight in Jabba's palace, pretty cool.
All right.
Number 2 of the year, Tootsie, with Dustin Hoffman.
I never saw Tootsie.
All right.
I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding.
You mean Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Find
Fuck
him.
Hook, bro.
Number 3, Flashdance.
No, I haven't
Okay.
seen Flashdance.
Number 4, Trading Places. This is Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
I actually have not seen that movie.
Poor Man, Rich Man. That was one that I thought might be on the list. That's okay.
Yeah.
Number 5, War Games. Matthew Broderick versus Computer.
Hell yeah, I've seen War Games. I've seen War Games a bunch of times. I love that movie. Global thermonuclear war started with a telephone. This guy can hack into computers with a telephone. This is before telephones were computers.
It's a cautionary tale for where we are now.
Yeah.
We gotta.
I fucking love that movie.
Number 6, Octopussy, James Bond.
No, I haven't seen it. And why did they call it that?
One of the characters is named Octopussy, which they're asking for trouble. Yeah.
What are we doing?
Number 7, the sequel to Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive.
No.
No.
Is War Games going to be the only movie out of all these that I've seen?
No, you've seen Star Wars too.
Oh yeah, Star Wars. Sorry.
Number 8, Risky Business with Tom Cruise, Young Cruise.
Have not seen Risky Business. Is that
Dancing to Old Time
Dancing
Rock and
in the
Roll.
Undies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 9, this one was an outside shot, but I thought maybe. Mr. Mom, Michael Keaton.
There's a chance I've seen that because that seems like it would have been up our alley when I was a kid. But I can't confirm nor deny.
Dad is staying at home. What the hell?
Dude, there's bubble gum in the baby's hair and sweet potatoes in the lazy chair.
They're kind of remaking this movie with Nate Bargatze a little bit. It's like not, it's not an exact, but the movie he's coming out with, he's got to stay at home with the kids while his wife goes to work. So they call
it cuck.
Yeah. In 2026. And then number 10,
Cuck Finn.
number 10, National Lampoon Vacation.
Yes, I have seen that.
Okay, so
I think I'm at three and maybe of Mr. Mom, but I'm gonna go with no on Mr. Mom. So.
Okay, I was thinking maybe Trading Places might get you. Trading Places, pretty good.
Dude, there's like a couple of Eddie Murphy movies that I haven't seen a lot of the older Eddie Murphy movies. I've seen the Beverly Hills Cop movies. You're not gonna fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I didn't see Coming to America. I don't know if I've seen Harlem Nights. Once he started hitting his Nutty Professor era, I watched all that stuff because I was in the perfect timeline.
Yeah.
I've only seen like 3 of the Shreks.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you've seen the too many Shreks, we could definitely do with less Shreks, but
we should do an episode where we watch every Shrek.
Oh, Shrek Forever After, forget about it, man. that's a tough go. All right, so thank you to everybody that listened. I don't know what we're necessarily classifying this as, a deep dive or just a random episode. Like this angle's pretty quick. There's only one real match. You can go further if you want, but it's just fun to go back and see how they used to orchestrate these things.
Yeah.
And this is, again, this is an angle they could do tomorrow. If they wanted to, they could have somebody put a bounty on CM Punk's head or whatever and have a bunch of heels go after him, but it wouldn't feel, I don't think, the way this feels, because people believed this was happening. Like you said, the baby in the front row, devastated at the betrayal of Bob Orton Jr.
Yeah, I love the framing of all the. It's very simple.
Yeah,
it's just, and it's just a classic story. They didn't have to add a lot of frill to it. They just added a bunch of heat and poured a bunch of gasoline on it over and over, which they used to do in wrestling constantly. And they did. I mean, kayfabe's a cheat code, man. Like, I talk about it this whole time about like, we criticize new wrestling for not being able to do stuff like this, but it is harder to do stuff like this now.
Yeah.
And so that's fair, and that's a total valid thing, because back then they understood. I mean, they saw it as the bastard Bob Orton Jr.
Yeah.
Like, he's a real bad guy. Like, now, because I was thinking about it with Harley Race, when Harley Race was walking out for this match, people are screaming at him. They look actually mad. Now, if you watch a wrestling match, the heels are coming out. People are like screaming at the heel, but like smiling when they do it, because they know like this is part of the show, which I can't even get mad at them for. But like, it's just, kayfabe's a cheat code, man. Like, once that toothpaste came out of the tube, it's really hard you can't do like, well, I think you can do simple things, but I just don't think they trust themselves to make it believable.
Yeah, and I think it's like nowadays, like Harley Race was so good that even as a dastardly heel, if he were in today's wrestling, he would get over as a babyface, because the fans would like so much how good a wrestler he is, or like how entertaining his character is. It's like a Dominic Mysterio problem, where it's like, you can conventionally put him in the heel role and have him do all the heel stuff, but if he's good at his job, people are going to cheer him now because they know that it's a television show, which you can't do anything about, unfortunately. But this is fun because it's just like the real emotion. And when Flair comes back with that bat, there's like a jubilance in that crowd that I can only imagine is from even skeptical fans, or maybe kind of smart fans, who were like, I bet he's coming back. I bet it's not really over, but you don't know for sure. Yeah. And when he comes back and he's got that bat, it's like, that's real emotion being exhibited by the people in that crowd, which I miss.
And it felt more chaotic and real because his music didn't play, and there wasn't a whole video package, and there wasn't like. And I'm not mad at that stuff now. I'm just saying, like, that's a stark difference that you feel, because like when Seth Rollins comes back, when you don't think he's going to come back, you get the pyro, you get everything, you get the whole shebang bang, because that's what we expect now. But Ric Flair just literally ran out from the back, like he broke into the joint, and like, I don't know, it was cool.
Yeah, it was good. Thank you to everybody who listens. We appreciate it. Thank you everybody who leaves a comment, who follows. All of that stuff is great. Thank you so much, and we appreciate it. And we'll be back again next week, because we will never retire.
Never, ever. We're always going to be good guys.
That's right. Spiked Pal.